Good morning, Margot. It's a pleasure to finally be able to speak with you. Thank you so much for giving us time today. If you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit of background around your company and your role within the company and what you do at Eversana.
Yes, thanks for having me. My name is Margot Thornton, and I'm the Global Contact Center System Manager here at Eversana. So I oversee the technology platform for the contact center space here. And Eversana is a global company in the life sciences space, and we have different areas of our business that work to bring really life-changing therapies and products to patients that may be sick or struggling with something. So we do various different aspects of that support. Sometimes it's working with other companies to bring their products through for FDA approval so that they can be given to the end patient, or sometimes we're working with the patients and the physicians or doctors themselves. So really, it's a exciting area to be a part of in that space. And then, of course, on the contact center side, we have our contact center agents that are talking directly with patients and helping them get their needs met. And so myself being in IT, more and more behind the scenes, making sure the platform and the infrastructure is stable and available for our end clients or customers.
Gotcha. It's such an evolving space right now, and it's a highly interesting space. We've seen it ourselves with a number of customers that we work with, and you really are at the forefront of what you do and how you assist your customers. In terms of, I know you've already outlined your own role within the company and looking on the back end of things with the IT infrastructure and the contact center side of things. What would you outline as some of the biggest challenges your company has faced in managing its voice or its call center operations over the number of years you've been working there?
Right. So, of course, we want to make sure that we have a robust and stable system and also scalable as our company grows and expands as well. And so, always looking at what can we do to keep our system, robust and flexible and stable, but also looking at areas of when, inevitably there could be hiccups and whatnot, and we have redundant systems and backups so we don't have any downtime for customers, but we want to make sure we're proactive in the event that there is a hiccup somewhere along the lines. And so ensuring that we have insight into the vast systems, and so any hiccups or whatnot that we get alerted to first, so that we can resolve them before the customer ever knows there was a hiccup, whether something out of our control, network carrier, these sorts of things do happen.
Gotcha. And I suppose being a global organization like you are currently at the moment, you face global challenges. I've no doubt there. What would you outline as some of the biggest challenges with some of your carriers, for example, within the telecom space?
Right, exactly. So oftentimes, where if we do have a presence in another country, we may not, if our folks in the US are managing it, we may not have a way to validate what's going on with that carrier in that country unless we are communicating directly with our employee or agent there to help us, test things. And so having the visibility with Klearcom, with your tool, to be able to test those lines in that country has really been super helpful to give us another layer of insight into making sure that we're doing everything we can. And then if we need to go back to the carrier of that country, then we have the data to show us what we need to do to fix it.
Brilliant, fantastic. And I suppose looking at a solution like the Clearcom solution, like you've already outlined, what prompted you initially to seek out a solution like this? And I suppose more importantly, how did you identify the right partner for a solution like this?
Yeah, exactly. So, really, with the growth and with the expansion of clients and the different countries, we really needed a way to not only test and validate, but also to automate a lot of the testing, especially as customer and client requirements ask us to test all the different phone lines and make sure, especially in other countries where maybe we had limitations of how do we do that regularly. And that's where Klearcom comes in, where the tools are there, and it's amazing that we can validate the numbers. We can test as if we were in that country and really solve the problems there. So that's been super helpful on that front. And back to your question about how did we decide to work with you? So we did go through our process internally, where, as many companies probably do, they have to check out different vendors and do analysis on who's the right fit. But Klearcom, your team always was very supportive, very responsive, and also willing to work and partner with us and really just make it a collaboration so that you could help us meet our needs and whatever needs come up along the way, still as a partner from the beginning and also still today, has really been beneficial. So I really appreciate it.
Fantastic, and thank you for putting your trust in us as well. We're super stoked to be able to work with a company like yours. Were there any specific pain points during the transition to like a new telecom service or even a call center technology, making migrations or any transitions into new services any pain points that you'd outline from there?
Yes, exactly. And in fact, we are in the middle of a transition to a new platform. And one of the pain points was to accurately document the as-is state, because as we've evolved over the years, different things have changed, and maybe documentation, got lost along the way, or just need to validate because things have been changing. And so the ability to also use some of the tools with Klearcom has really helped us to automate that process and help us feel very confident that we're documenting and validating and testing the as-is state of the environment, so that as we move to our new environment, that we can do our manual checks, of course, but just to have that automated tool to validate everything is so helpful and saves us so much time as well. So it's been incredible.
Fantastic. And I suppose having that library environment and that local visibility and being able to map out the current environment versus the proposed environment and identify if there's any changes can only assist further down the line as well.
Exactly.
I suppose looking at, and this leads us nicely on to the next question, I suppose, really looking at the current environment and how you're operating right now, how has Klearcom impacted your team's efficiency and your day-to-day operations?
Yes, so exactly as I mentioned, we do have the requirements to do certain amount of testing on the phone lines, and so that process has already been in place for a while. But then more recently, as we're in this transition to this different platform, we have a short amount of time to validate and gather the requirements. And so the tool that we've been using from Klearcom has really brought so much efficiency. And also really with the team, when sometimes there's demands and you want to get the project deadlines right and everything, but having a tool like this, really it has a kind of an unexpected benefit of the team, of the morale too, of the team, of, oh wow, we have a tool that can help us do this. So granted, everyone is focused and hardworking and dedicated, but to save some of the time, and it just helps alleviate a little bit of the stress and the pressure, and that we can partner with the business and come together to get the outcomes and the requirements needed. So that was a most recent example that it's been a great tool.
Fantastic. It's great feedback to have. In terms of the IVR caller, I believe, is probably one of the real-time tools that your team is probably utilizing predominantly. How often would they pull on the IVR caller solution, and how are they reaping the benefits of it?
Yes, so we have our different service lines within the company use it in a little bit different ways. There's one team that's really been using it I think daily, honestly, and some of the other teams are starting to see the benefits and starting to use it more as well. And it's been something where it can run in the background and alert us to any potential glitches or anything that we may, need to be alerted on to resolve. And it's just been wonderful, as well as helping with our client agreements and, keeping up on our agreements that we said to test, of course, but then just some of the back end validations that we can do, that we have confidence, in our systems has really been really instrumental in keeping things running smoothly.
Brilliant. In terms of looking at other organizations, what advice would you give to global enterprises looking to optimize their call center or voice services?
Yes. So I would say really making sure that you are in touch with the business needs and their requirements to make sure that when you start to look at different partners that they can speak to those needs and help support you with where you're at today, but also that maybe they can have the strategic thinking to help where you might want to go, also to help find a technology partner to help guide you to growth as well. So I think both are important.
I think that's absolutely fantastic advice, looking at the current, but also about having a strategic partner that you can leverage and go forward with. That's definitely the main route to market, I believe personally as well. And if you had to summarize the biggest advantages of the Klearcom solution to date, what would they be?
Yes, I think some of the things I've said for sure with alerting our business or our team if there's any hiccup or glitch before there would be any production issue is definitely amazing, and that's probably the number one. And then making sure that we are up to date with our requirements for clients, for agreements on what we said we would do is testing and in an automated fashion, so we can do that more efficiently. That's super important. And then the third one being just, again, that validation of, as we're switching to a new platform, getting the as is state documented and also validated, helping the team not only be more efficient, but also having that peace of mind that it is for sure working as it should. So, yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic. Margot, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today. Really appreciate you taking the time. And like I said, we're super excited to be able to work with such a fantastic organization like yours and an amazing team like the one that you're managing yourself as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And yeah, the Klearcom team, everyone is always so responsive and helps us when we have a problem or issue, and everyone's ready to partner with our team as well and make sure we can get the best outcome. So it's been wonderful working with you as well.
Thanks so much, Margot.